Laziness is a condition that affects all of us in some way. We recognize it as one of the biggest obstacles standing between us and our dreams. Even though we know its dangers, we often find it hard to break free from its grip. Why? Because comfort is tempting. It feels easier, safer, and more attractive than effort. Staying in our comfort zone becomes a habit. Before we know it, we start putting off even the simplest tasks. We convince ourselves by saying, "I'll do it later." But as we've all experienced, that later often never comes. The truth is, breaking free from laziness isn't as hard as it seems. With small, consistent steps, setting goals, building daily habits, and keeping our dreams in sight, we can turn things around. Today's story is about a young man who paid a heavy price for his laziness, but one piece of advice changed everything for him. It led him to a life of purpose and success. What was this advice, and how did it transform his life? Let's find out as we listen to his story. Once upon a time, in a small village at the base of a lush green hill, lived a young man named Alex. Unlike the other young men in the village who worked hard in the fields, Alex preferred to spend his days lounging under a big tree behind his house. Deep down, he knew that his laziness was ruining his life. But every time he tried to overcome it, it pulled him back even harder. One day, something happened that turned Alex's world upside down. The person he loved the most married a wealthy man. This event shook Alex deeply, and the villagers began to mock him for his laziness, saying it was the reason for his failure. Feeling ashamed and heartbroken, Alex decided to change. But he didn't know where to start. As Alex sat near the hill, lost in thought, he noticed an old man walking along the path. It was Grandpa David, a wise elder respected by everyone in the village for his advice and knowledge. Alex ran up to him and said, "Grandpa, I can't seem to overcome my laziness. Please help me. I don't want to live like this anymore." Grandpa David smiled kindly and said, "Those who try, succeed. I admire your willingness to change. Come to my house in 3 days. Bring some food for the journey and I'll tell you how to beat your laziness. You'll have to go far, so prepare well." Excited and hopeful, Alex agreed and went home to prepare. For 3 days, he waited eagerly for the day to arrive. On the 3rd day, he packed food, money, and essentials and went to Grandpa David's house. When Alex arrived, Grandpa David pointed to a distant mountain and said, "The cure for your laziness lies in a cave on the other side of that mountain. It will take you 3 to 5 days to get there. Inside the cave, you'll find a pot with 2 pills, one red and one blue. Bring them back to me, and I'll tell you how they'll help you overcome your laziness. But there's one more thing. Another young man wearing blue clothes left yesterday to get the same cure. If you want it, you must reach the cave before him." Determined, Alex began his journey. He crossed the village and reached a river, where he found an old man rowing a boat slowly. Impatient, Alex took the oars and rowed with all his strength, crossing the river in just 20 minutes instead of an hour. Without realizing it, Alex was already changing. His laziness was fading away as he became more focused and determined. He ran, climbed, and pushed through every obstacle. Even when tired, one thought kept echoing in his mind. There's no substitute for hard work. After 2 days of relentless effort, Alex finally reached the cave. Inside, just as Grandpa David had said, he found a pot containing a red pill and a blue pill. Feeling proud of his achievement, Alex hurried back to the village to show Grandpa David. When Alex handed the pot to him, he asked eagerly, "How will these pills cure my laziness?" To Alex's surprise, Grandpa David smiled and swallowed one of the pills himself. Shocked and a bit angry, Alex exclaimed, "Why did you take one of them?" Grandpa David chuckled and said, "That pill was for my back pain. The real cure for your laziness is something you've already discovered during your journey. You worked hard, stayed focused, and overcame every challenge. The red pill symbolizes your big dreams, and the blue pill represents your determination to keep going. You've proven that with a clear goal and persistent effort, nothing is impossible. Alex paused and reflected on Grandpa David's words. It was true. He had conquered his laziness through his own actions. Suddenly, Alex asked, "But what about the young man in blue clothes? Did he reach the cave?" Grandpa David laughed and said, "That was my son. He went to visit his brother in the next village. I mentioned him just to motivate you to act faster." Though slightly annoyed, Alex couldn't help but smile. He thanked Grandpa David and returned home with renewed energy and determination. From that day on, Alex was no longer lazy. He embraced hard work, took on new challenges, and eventually became a successful and respected man in the village. Every moment in life is precious. The tasks you postpone today might be the key to your success tomorrow. Take small steps daily, set clear goals, and work hard to achieve them. Remember, success comes to those who chase their dreams with persistence and dedication. We hope this story helped you learn new words and sentences. Learning English can be fun when you practice regularly, so keep listening, learning, and growing. Make sure to like, comment, and share how this story helped you improve your English. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story where we'll continue learning together.